Okay, welcome back to Vivid Earth, everyone. Today I've got an old returning guest, Mark
Old?
Attwood.
Old? What do you mean?
Not as in age. You just haven't been here
Cold.
on the show
Cold.
for a long time.
Not old.
Old, a
Cold.
cold returning
Cold.
guest.
Cold. Yeah. Which is a teenage word in Ireland for cool. So that's good.
Oh, really? I didn't even know about that one.
Neither did I. My kids introduce me to these words, and I go, what? And they go, yeah, cold. I'm like, what do you mean it's cold? Well, it is actually cold now, but And then I'm like, what do you mean cold? It's cold. Yeah, it's cold. Oh, cool. No, cold. It's good. I love being older, don't you?
Cool is so yesterday's news. I mean, really, that means we're getting old. We don't
No, we're
even have
not.
these
No, we're
trends.
not. That's the belief. I don't do old. I
Exactly.
I need to shave the white beard. So I'm auditioning for Santa Claus at the moment. I can't find the charger to charge my shaver. But anyway, how are you, Anina?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm really good. It's been a whirlwind couple of months, and I feel like we've taken quantum leaps into the future, if you will. Just feel like things have evolved so much in a way, not in a very obvious way, but in a very subtle way in terms of consciousness.
Yep.
And it's exciting. It's exciting times. We're making progress. We're seeing the end of the movie nearing. We're going through this ascension process, which we can really, really feel ramping up right now in terms of all the energies that's hitting the planet, how our bodies are responding, how our consciousness is responding, how we're remembering who we are more and more, which is exciting. And what have you been up to, Mark, or seeing around you and noticing around you?
Exactly that. I mean, I was up at 2:30 this morning, couldn't sleep, wired. Happens a lot at the moment. The day before I was collapsing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, was gone for 7 hours. Um, yeah, consciousness going through a lot more moments in my past, which is interesting. And I'm noticing a lot of people are being quite antsy at the moment about money and things are breaking down, which I think, my car finally gave up the ghost last week, and
Oh, yeah.
mechanic mechanic can't fix it for 3 months because I'm in the west of Ireland, which is annoying. But it's also like,
Ooh.
so there's a lot of annoying things that I'm choosing not to be annoyed about. The same as
Hmm.
I'm choosing not to get old. Some some
Exactly.
some call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Exactly. I think our generation is kind of forever young in a way as well. We hold on to that inner child. We don't really think about aging. If I think about my parents at my age, they felt old
Yeah,
when they were like in their early 50s, and I'm just like, I'm still feeling like a kid in a candy store.
my grandparents are old in their 40s. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the 40s are like a distant dream to me now. So I still I still attack life like I'm a 8-year old, really, and it's the best. It's the best way to be.
Absolutely. Just in touch with that inner child, right? That keeps you young.
Well, I like to think so. I mean, I've got loads of energy. I mean, I've got more energy than most teenagers actually. But a lot of that is to do with surviving the last 40 odd years, and getting into shape, but not in the old way. Not going to the gym 5 days a week, just by
Yeah.
drinking the right water, just understanding every cell is a battery. I mean, that's just like revolutionized my physical life and everybody that we have at the healing center, and just enjoying being creative every day. But
Hmm.
I am pissing a few people off because I cancel a few things. I'm canceling things quite often, and I'm late for everything. Um, I don't mean to be, but everybody's just got. It's very challenging. We did a healing session last night, and it was everybody that was on it was like, I was saying it's tiring, and they were going like, "Yeah, it is." All right, but it's going to be okay, isn't it? Woo. So I know it's challenging, but it's definitely accelerating. And I do think it's connected to Popeye. atlas in the in space,
For
whatever
sure.
that is. That is definitely having an effect. I did a video about it a few weeks ago saying as consciousness change, because it is subtle, you're right. But actually, it's not that. It's funny. I use the word subtle as well, but it's not really subtle. It's like being hit round the face by a wet fish. It's like,
Yeah.
but when you've
I
been
guess to
beaten up,
others it's subtle. They're like, well, we don't notice anything. Nothing is changing. Nothing's going on. And we like, a lot is changing. We can like really feel it. And just there's something switching on, right? That DNA is being activated. So some of us can really feel it. But to others, it looks like nothing is going on.
oh no, it's really going on. And I think anybody watching this, that it's a bit like healing, right? If you're in pain and then you're not in pain, you don't remember the pain. Literally 10 seconds later, you've forgotten it. And it's a bit like this. You get hit really hard with energies, and you're like, and then it goes away, and you're like, oh, that was easy. No, it wasn't. It was actually quite 7 hours. That was hard. But so if anybody's going through that, it just came into my head. Just write it down, make a note of it. I mean, there's loads of amazing things going on in the middle of it as well. Like the other night, I had such a beautiful vision. It was like one of those visions that was just sublimely beautiful. And I was lying there going, I don't want this to end. This is so. Can I just stay here? Can I just stay? Can I have? And I was gone. And I was gone. And I woke up 8 hours later going, bugger, I was really enjoying that, and I can't. But so write these things down and enjoy it, because you are being activated, and we are, and
Mm,
I'm definitely remembering who I am, and it's coming in very interesting. And this is the way it works, right? Because it comes in such interesting ways. It's not like having a memory and going, "Oh, I remember being in an office clerk in 1820 in London." It's not like that. It comes at you through different. It comes at you through people who say things. It's actually how the internet is. You know how I said this last night to somebody. I said, you know how people go, "Oh, all I got to do is talk about toothbrushes, and then I get loads of toothbrush adverts popping up everywhere."
yeah.
Well, what I've noticed in the last year is, well, actually more in the last 3 months, is you don't even have to speak it; you just have to think it, and there it is. Which means there's going to be people who go, well, that's because we were hacked 30 years ago. We're connected to the grid, and it's all connected. And then on the other side of that coin, it's everything's consciousness driven. And what I'm noticing as well is that reality is more malleable than it's ever been. So
Yeah.
there's all this constant twists and turns in the outward story, because, and that's the same thing with the three eye atlas. Is it a ship full of 5 billion Draco reptilian soldiers? Is it a meteor? Is it a consciousness engine? Is it in space, or is space actually an ocean? Is it, it's all of those things. And I think it depends upon the level of consciousness you're at,
Exactly.
is how it affects you. So if it's just me and you, then it's just me and you. But it could be there's actually millions and millions of people who are going through it. And yeah, my thoughts are with you, but I need your thoughts to be with me too, because it's fucking tiring.
And that's true. Everyone is in their own sort of a reality bubble, and whatever they think is true is true for them. So we literally create our own reality. We don't attract.
Mm,
The law of attraction doesn't exist. It's actually us creating our reality, like projecting it outwards from inside. So we literally create our own reality, and what you believe is true is going to be true in your world.
yeah,
Might not be true for somebody else. So it really is about perspective, but the timeline of manifestation has definitely shortened. So you can think something and then suddenly, well, there it is. It's like literally much more instant now.
yeah, it's nuts. But going back on what you said there, and one thing I did this morning, because I was up so early and I was looking for ships, because it was a
Mhm.
beautiful clear sky, and I had three really good friends before COVID, three guys that I would consider lifelong friends, none of which have spoken to me in over 5 years. So I went and looked at their social media profiles this morning, and I was like, what happened? I'd not actually thought about it for quite a long time. And I was just scrolling down, and then I was like, one of them was posting what a great idea digital ID was. I was like, fucking hell. And then I went to the next one, and then he's posting stuff about LGBTQ plus stuff, and I'm like, what happened there? And the other, I just like, oh, I'm literally in different worlds to these guys. How? And then I was like, well, how did I not spot it? And then all these little moments popped up when I did spot it happening, but I wasn't aware what it was. I was never, I've never been homophobic, for example. In fact, I used to go on LG lesbian and gay marches to support their rights 35 years ago. But then, and LGB then it was, and then they added the TQ plus, which completely skewed it all and turned it into something else. And it's fairly obvious that that was happening, but not to my old friends. And it's like, how did they? Where did they? What was it? Was it their ego? What? It's so strange, when you have these little moments. But I think what I'm actually doing is going through a process of letting them go properly,
Hmm.
because that's the big secret to all of this is letting everything go, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are finding that old stuff from the past is coming up now,
Mm.
for resolution and release. Old friends, old scenarios, going through old stories that just suddenly pop up out of nowhere. It's like, okay, we need to see it and just look at it and release it because we are in a different world. And I bet to a lot of those people, they think we stark raving mad. I also have a lot of friends that I haven't spoken to in 5 years, not because I don't like them anymore, but we just don't resonate anymore, And I needed that solitude as well at the time to for my own spiritual awakening I was going through. But looking at sometimes also at these people on Facebook, it's like we're in completely different worlds. I don't know how that happened, but there was just like a breaking loose, and the especially from a business point of view, the people that I have in my network on Facebook, I look at the stuff that they post, and I was like, what the hell happened there?
Well, you were in marketing, weren't you?
Yeah,
Same as me. So, I used to teach it, and it just seems really strange now looking back on it. And I've looked at some ex-colleagues, and they're still going on about the same nonsense, and I'm like, but did they? Was there a meeting that everybody missed except me? It's like that. It's just bizarre, And now I'm writing spiritual books instead of marketing books, which is hilarious to me,
yeah.
you know.
It's amazing. There are still people there exactly the same place as they were 5 years ago.
Mm.
And like we were just got activated in, I think in 2020 in a big way. And we just completely went on a different trajectory because we were being called into that mission that we had to step into. We always just trying to fit in, pretending that we were like everyone else as much as possible. And in 2020, well, sorry, can't happen anymore. And
But
I just
that's sorry, go on.
no, I just couldn't even do what I used to do before. I was like, I can't pretend that this feels important to me because it doesn't. It all seems so trivial and superficial. And I can't meet with clients and discuss all their brand goals and all these things when really I don't give a shit anymore. It just all feels so trivial. And
I
I
got no,
can't
I got it.
pretend
I got a
anymore.
guy. There's a guy, right? He's a really nice guy, and he said, "Oh, do you know much about Google Ads?" I went, "Yeah, a little bit." Yeah. And then I showed him one of my old accounts where I'd spent about 30 million pounds in one of these accounts on Google Ads. I said, "Yeah, there's one of my accounts." He was like, "What? Can you help me?" And I went, "Well, um, I don't think I can." And he begged me, and I said, "Look, if." if I get a spurt of that type of energy, I will set up a campaign for you because I know, I'm an expert. I'm a world class Google Ads person, but I haven't touched it for years. And then he keeps nagging me and he's nagging me. And I said, look, dude, I don't think it's going to happen. I said, I just can't sit in that energy of sat there, because it's so pointless.
Yeah, it's like trying to sell stuff to people
Yeah.
that they don't
Why?
need.
I
If I
know.
think back on what I did, and my specialty was luxury brands. So I literally tried to create campaigns that would sell things to people that can't afford it but really wanted for all that all their whole being wanted it, but they couldn't afford it. Those are the kind of campaigns that I was working on. I'm like, what? These are like handbags that are, I don't know, $15,000
For a handbag.
that is made in China by child laborers.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't see any of that, you know.
Well, it's
So
levels of consciousness, right? So, with this guy, with the Google ads, I've always said the same thing. The reason I got into it is because it allowed small businesses to compete with bigger businesses, and it wasn't selling them things that they didn't want. It was allowing people to find what you had, and for that reason, they were phenomenal in that respect. But I just can't sit in the energy of it. It's because it's just I just can't go there anymore.
it like kills your soul. It's like you can't do it
Well, I
anymore.
really want to help the guy at the same time, but I'm like, I said, dude, and he was offering me money, and I said, you can't afford me anyway, and I don't want your money, and I'll do it if I can do it, but I haven't done it, and he's getting cross with me because I haven't done it. I said, well, I never said I was going to do it, and so it's just an example of that, but it is about levels of consciousness. I mean, I spent an hour yesterday making my own hand soap, and I was like, I was laughing because I've cleaned. I've been aware of the toxification of everything in the home, for example, and in our bodies for 20 years, but it's levels of understanding. And then it's like I'm looking at the washing up liquid and I'm looking at I'm getting cross now because I know that it's poison and it's full of microplastics and it's full of shit chemicals. So I just now, which is hilarious, I'm making the time. And it's not about money. The cost is probably similar. In fact, it's probably cheaper to buy, but I was really enjoying it. I was making my own hand soap, and now I'm making my own dishwasher tablets, and I'm doing all of this just because my consciousness has got to the point where I cannot stand that anymore. I just cannot countenance having that crap in the house because it was so convenient. We're so busy fighting the fight that
Mm.
I'd go, oh, I'll go to the supermarket, I'll just grab it, I'll grab it. I can't. I know I should make my own, but I can't be bothered. Now I can be bothered, and I'm finding that really interesting for me.
So you guys don't have a wide range of natural products there where you are? I've been going the
Well,
natural way for
no,
almost
everything's
10 years.
online, but yeah, of course we do. But just certain things.
You can't readily, you have to like order it online. If
Well,
you
it's
run
the
out,
same. It's the same. Yeah, because I'm lecturing people about what they eat, and not lecturing them, but saying, look, if you tried this and having amazing results. But it's going to that point where I've known that I should have been making my own hand soap for 20 years, and I did go through a phase of doing it, and then I was just too busy, and then it just slipped out of the net, and now I'm not letting that happen, which is just an interesting example of where I'm at.
but I think it's amazing, I think both of us, if we look back at our careers and the rate per hour that we were charging then, and now we spend that hour making something very physical,
Yeah.
tangible, and there's so much joy in that.
Hmm.
Like, well, anyone, you can train anyone to do stuff. That no, you want to do it because it makes you feel connected to, your own well-being and the natural products. And there's something in there that's really gratifying.
Yeah, I mean, I used to lecture people about, if you're in business, get a gardener, get a handyman, get a
Yeah,
cleaner.
because your time is worth
Yeah.
much more than,
Yeah.
you
And
doing
I,
that
I
stuff.
was always like that, and I would say, look, if I spent an hour mowing the lawn, that's an hour where I could have earned 10,000 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why would I mow the lawn? And it's like, it's so funny. I just want solitude now. I just want
Yeah.
peace and quiet. Don't email me. Don't bother me. Don't come and see me. Just leave me alone.
After a while, they stop messaging you, they stop WhatsApping you. And it's actually like, I realized the other day, it's like, wow, peace. I don't have all these millions of WhatsApps and messages I used to have because I've changed my life. And actually, it's just peace. Not, and all these groups that people add you to, I just archive them because I can't, stand
Yeah,
all
and, I,
these
and I'm
messages.
turning things down as well. I'm just like, no, I've been asked to speak at loads of things. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. And it's really funny because my ego initially would be like, God, yeah, that's amazing. Oh, what a great thing to do. Now I'm
It will
like,
be good exposure, right?
no, I don't care.
Mm.
It's amazing. I'm loving it actually.
But
Um,
it's also that authenticity that we can't, ignore anymore. You've got to be authentic, and if you're not, it really feels
oh,
like incongruent to your being. You can't
you
do it.
you can't, and if you do go against it, you come a cropper. You bang your toe, you fall over, something breaks, you can't, it's and it's not like this is new. I'm not talking about anything people watching this won't already know, but it's just like definitely gone up a few notches. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we start extracting ourselves out of the matrix so much that just having to step back in there, even for an hour, is really painful. Um,
Well, I've been finding that with like downtime, I do. Well, I think it was Alan Watts I was listening to the other. These things are all popping up when you need to hear them, right? So I've listened to Alan Watts for decades, but this one popped up talking about how nothing you used to do makes you happy. Nothing. It's like eating cardboard. It's like you drive past a McDonald's, and I drive past a McDonald's and think, did I ever eat there? And then I had flashbacks to, yeah, you did. Oh my God. I couldn't imagine eating there now. I couldn't, haven't for years, but it was a time when I'd go there with a hangover and have a Big Mac and 6 chicken nuggets and all the sauces and then go back later in the day and have some more. And I'm like, oh my God, what was wrong with me? Even then I knew McDonald's was shite, but it's extraordinary. And, you know, entertainment is something I do believe stories are important. I do believe listening to stories you can ancient wisdom held in stories and enjoying. I love movies. I used to love movies. I used to love TV shows, and I can't, none of them, can't watch any. I just like have to switch them on, and especially with the movies, especially with the movies. No, all of them, they've all gone woke, and they're all. I was actually watching the Hunger Games the other night again just to see, how good was it? And it was just deeply satanic and horrible. And I couldn't watch it. It's kids killing kids. It's like, what? How did I watch this? And then I can't
mm,
watch it. And then I'm like flicking for ages, going, please make another Clarkson's Farm because that's close to being good. But no, we can't do it anymore.
yeah, I can't watch any TV anymore.
No, I
Um,
haven't watched TV for years, but apart
I
from
mean, Netflix has gone so woke. Maybe it's changed, but because I haven't watched it for a long time. But yeah, Netflix has gone woke, and it's just the
what it
trash.
always was. I
We
mean,
used to love like foreign language movies, like I would search like Spanish or French, but now it's also depressing. If you look at the French movies, it's like all the dark, seedy side
yeah,
of
it's horrible.
it's like who wants to watch that stuff? It's
Where's
horrible.
Manon Desauce, Jean de Florette? Where's all the good stuff gone?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
it's all
Subway.
like
Well, that was pretty dark.
dark and seedy, showing like the worst parts of Paris and what's been going on. There's many of those series and movies on Netflix. Like, what are
Yeah,
they
well,
doing there?
I keep tabs on what they're doing because my kids are still young and they find a way to watch stuff and I have to have conversations with them about it and because it affects your soul if
Yeah.
you're watching that stuff. I mean, what was I watching? Star Trek 10 the other day, and there was a demonic rape scene in the middle in Star Trek 10. I was like, I never saw it before.
Wow.
I was like, how did I miss that back in the day? But it's always been there. Or or has it always been there? Or have the timelines changed and things been put in? Because we've got the Mandela effect working one way, maybe it's working the other way. But this is what I mean about reality being malleable. People are arguing over different realities that they're experiencing, and it's like, well, just disengage from the argument. And all of that is part of the spiritual journey because all of it's pushing you to go inside and connect with your creator, and that's what all of this has been about. And but I'm still driven to help people across the bridge. Still publishing books and running a healing center and making podcasts while the
Yeah.
energies while
For
the
those
energy.
that are ready and willing, for those that aren't, you can't force anyone. So I
No.
stopped shoving it down people's throats. If they show that they are open to it, I will, gently start
Mm.
a conversation, but I don't shove it down people's throats anymore. Those days are long gone.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm seeing it, with people that I'm just thinking anecdotally, people that have been poorly because of certain medical interventions. And, 3 years ago, I'd have been going, "Right, yeah, you need to do this." And I've learned you can't, they've got to do it themselves. They
Yeah,
really have. That's why the jabs are still out there. That's why I saw an old woman walking down the street with a mask on yesterday. I was like, part of me was like, I want to pull over and go, "What are you doing?" And then I'm like, it's her journey.
yeah, exactly.
I can't change her mind. She's got to work it out.
Yeah, exactly. But just to go back to, all the cleaning products. So, I started using no chemicals in the house. I became quite obsessive about it a couple of years ago. But now what happens is because there's no artificial fragrances, even never mind the chemicals and the petrochemicals, you become quite sensitive to smell.
Yeah, hugely.
So I'm like out there and I can like smell, okay, that one used that kind of, those commercial Johnson and Johnson products. You can actually like name them. You can smell what people used in the shower that morning.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, just take
Well,
it away.
I've got teenage boys that manage to sneak stuff. I mean, I've been throwing away bottles of Lynx now for 10 years because the pressure on them to be like their friends is monstrous. So, my eldest son, I used to just clean out his cupboards, throw it all in the bin, show him why, and he's great. He's been a sailor now for 3 years, and every boat he goes on or every course he goes on, he gets laughed at because he's got his own water distiller. He's using bicarb soda under his armpits, and and they all take the piss out of him when they meet him, and then three or 4 weeks later, they all start doing it as well, which is the brilliance of that's
Yeah,
why it's
he's influencing people around him.
precisely, and that's why it's important to keep talking about these things because I call it clinging to the side of the swimming pool. We're all at various levels of that. You get into a deep pool, you're swimming. Oh, I go to the side, and that's back to the program. No, keep letting go and keep swimming. That's what you got to do.
That's a good analogy for sure.
Yeah.
So what's been happening in your healing center? You've been expanding quite a lot there. You've been renovating, I saw a couple of weeks ago.
Well, building. We've been building. So, um, for those that don't know, I got a vision basically I got told to start open a healing center, and I got told you've got more than you know, which is a line from Q, and I've always taken Q that way, which is you have everything. Um, Instead of waiting for med beds and waiting for RVs and waiting for stuff and being frozen in headlights like rabbits, I went and knocked at my friend Gary's door and I said, "Do you want to open a healing center?" He said, "Yeah." So we went and got a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. That was over 2.5 years ago, and now we've got. Oh, I can show you what we've got if I can share screen. We've got two hyperbaric oxygen chambers, a red light therapy bed, a UV bed. We've got laser treatment. We've got quantum healing. We've got sound and light entrainment, sound therapy, holographic sound therapy, electromagnetic field therapy, etc. So we had all these things, and then we realized we got 850 franchise inquiries,
Wow.
and I was like, "Oh God," because I said a number of years ago, I said I'm not going to employ people ever again because I employed hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah,
people.
me too.
And I said, I'm never doing that. I never, ever want to do that again. It's the hardest thing about running a business is employing people because you become the reason they hate going to work.
Yeah.
When you're the best boss in the world, it doesn't make any difference. They beg you for a job. They tell you loads of lies in the interview. You give them the job. 2 weeks later, the alarm goes off at 6:30, and it's you they're blaming for the alarm going off.
Yeah.
and then they end up hating you, and then they lie to you, and everybody's lying to each other. So your business is basically a load of people lying to everybody, and then lying to everybody that they deal with. It's just lies everywhere.
It's the principle of business is just not
it's
working.
it's not
It's been
working in its
broken
current
for a
form.
long time.
Yeah, but anyway, this is what happened. We went and opened a healing center, and then um, with just the intention of healing people, but we're still in this world, so you have to run it like a business because anything that's sort of volunteer led will get donor fatigue and volunteer fatigue over time. So you've got this downward curve of so you have to pay people, and to pay people, you have to make money, and to make. So anyway, this is what we did. We we built it as a flagship. We knew we had to build something beautiful. It's donation based. It's a private members association. It's in the system but out the system. It's pioneering in many respects. It's the only place in the world with all the things we've got under one roof. It's in the west of Ireland. It's in a farming community. Most of the locals think it's too expensive or haven't never heard of the treatments, don't know what it is. But we have people from all over the world coming, which is incredible. We've been running retreats there. We've got an online shop now. We've got classes. It's just developing, and with 850 franchise inquiries, it's been like, what do we do with those? So we've spent a couple of years trying to work out what is the best way of getting this out there just so it becomes an accessible place for people to heal, because that was the vision. It was like we can create a decentralized network of places where people can heal from everything, and everything we've got is based upon replicating nature. It's not, hyperbaric oxygen is a 370-year-old technology. Red light's been around for a century. The pulse electromagnetic, we've got Tesla machine in there that's 130 years old. We've got things like the dolphin neurostim as well, which is like 40 years old. None of this is newfangled stuff. It's all based on simple stuff, which is clean the cells, nourish the cells, get the cells talking to each other, activate the cells, treating the cells like they're batteries. We've got the best water in Ireland. It's all structured, living water. Everything we do is based around being a bridge, being a hand over the bridge. Originally I was thinking when these people realize they've been poisoned, they'll be queuing round the corner to come in. But that's not quite what's happened. A lot of them had started to come in the last year, but before that, it was all the awake people that came, and I didn't realize how important it was to just have a physical venue. And so many people that came were just like, it's just great to be able to speak openly, that was like took me by surprise.
Mm.
But I think that's still important to have a decentralized network of these places around the planet is a possibility, and it's something that may well happen. But we're in the middle of doing some other big thing at the moment with it. We're being taken down different courses and just going with the flow. But yeah, it's an amazing place, and I'll show you the website.
I'm
I'm
not to
very
visit.
proud of it. I mean, it is amazing. It is stunning. It's a luxury star in the middle of farming country, which is funny in and of itself. Because this town used to be full of can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This town used to be full of pubs. So now we're trying to change it from being let's see if I've got the right. I'm just
So
gonna.
it's also it's a nice destination for people to come to and heal because it's in the countryside and
Well, that's something that struck me about a year ago. Was it a year ago? Maybe a bit longer. I was like, actually, this is a gorgeous place. We've got lovely countryside, we've got lakes, we've got things to do. It's an unspoilt kind of town. So yeah, we've got all these therapies here. Did I miss any? Brown's gas, the Orinoco, exercise of oxygen, the pain stuff. The website is constantly being updated. So there's Gary, my partner. This is the spa and sauna. Let's have a quick look at that. I've not looked at this in a while. So there's the water.
hmm.
There's our river view sauna, steam room, and we spent a lot of money doing this so that it's a
Mm.
nice experience. I mean, we could have done it cheaply, but I thought, no, we're going to need to build something really. There's our one of our water machines there, hyperbarics, the
Yeah, it
red
needs to be
light.
an inspiring space where people want to
Yeah, that's the point. I
heal.
wanted people to feel special in there, and also so that because we're donation based, Um, I wanted to make sure that it was high end enough to be able to charge a good amount for retreats, which effectively makes the money to subsidize the single parents with autistic kids that come in that are on benefits. So, because I want them to be able to have the treatments for free.
Yeah,
That's the kind of idea of it. So, and now we've launched this shop only in the last 6 weeks where we've got a whole range of new products coming out. Oh, there's my book. Um, like this one down here. Where is it? We've got, we're bringing out some our own range of products based upon everything that I've learned and all the expertise that we've got. We've got such amazing people now involved
very nice.
from from Dr. Christiane Northrup, David Cartland, and all sorts of different people in between who've been in the medical world. Because I do think we're trying to actually build a healing village where
Mm.
there will be it is a bridge. The whole thing's built on Bridge Street. There's a bridge out the window. According to Dolores Cannon, people in their 50s at this time are bridges between healers and warriors. So
Yeah.
the whole thing's led by the bridge idea, which is just hand out over the bridge, come
Or
in.
maybe it's because you are the bridge,
Well,
Mark.
that's what, yeah, somebody had to point it out to me. That's the funny thing.
You are the bridge. That's why you have so many bridges around you.
It's Bridge Central. Yeah. So that's great. And then it's brilliant. I mean, we've saved hundreds of people from hospital. We've reversed so many things that people are just so grateful for. It's extraordinary. There are people that come in, try it once, and then never come in again. This is what I mean. You have to do the work. You have to understand why. There was a woman in there the other day who said she'd got eczema. I said, well, that's because you're overtoxified. She looked at me like I had two heads. She goes, no, I just need steroid cream. I was like, well, you carry on if you want, but
Just wanted to go away. Must
it's
just
just
go away.
it's just
Mustn't come
toxins.
out of the body. Let's just suppress it and keep it down there.
Yeah. I said, you're overtoxified. I said, I'm an expert in this. I spent 30 years in the pub. So, it's an interesting journey. And it's really there to be like an inspiring place. And it's been amazing having the retreats. We've had people come from all over the world and just wonderful people. And they all, because most of them watch my podcasts and stuff, and they come from, they're all very highly spiritually developed people, and they give you great feedback as well, which is phenomenal when you're. And I've got, it's a team of people. It's not just me. I'm just the one that lit the touch paper, and yeah, and there's that, and there's the publishing thing I'm doing with Abby, which we just launched a new book last week. We've got another two books coming out before Christmas, so we're up to 4 or 5 books now, and we've got about five more. Yeah, within 6 months we'll have about 6 or 7, 10 books out, which is important for me because it's part of the information war, and almost impossible to find publishing
Yeah,
company.
so it's helping people that want to, broadcast a really good message out there, but that can't maybe get their stuff published until now. So
Well, the problem is the publishing industry is part of the cabal, right? So they're
yeah.
just as bad as the media companies, and the amount they pay is like 5% royalties. It's ridiculous. The average amount, Amazon looks like it's democratized everything, but actually they censor whatever they want. You'd never know it. They don't pay you for
Mm.
3 months. It looks like they're paying you more because you get 30%, but you've got absolutely no way of knowing what they've printed. You don't get the data. You get nothing as an author, nothing.
Mm.
Um, and the average Amazon author earns online on Amazon is $500 a year. I mean, you can't leave your
Wow.
job on $500 a year if you want to be a writer. So that's why we published this book of through our own. Have you ever seen this book? Did I ever give you this book?
Yes, and I think you guys posted a copy to me, but with the postal system in South Africa, I
Yeah.
still don't have it.
Oh, I'll send you another one. Um, we did it ourselves because Abby's been an author for years, and I said I think there's a better way of doing it, just because of my internet marketing background. So we did a course for people that want to learn how to do it better. Go to 104publishing.com. There's a course there. But yeah, we just bought this one out. We bought out an Irish Irish TV guy called Eddie Hobbs. I'm looking around for the book. He's awake and he's been waking up a lot of people in Ireland. So he wrote a book on the rise of totalitarianism. So we published that, and then we published one on Q last week by Charles Foxtrot. Why nothing can stop what's coming. We're doing one on autism next week, and then we're doing one on. And then we're working with Jackie Devoy, who's a proper journalist in London who produced a couple of amazing films over the last 5 years. This one's called Murdered by the State. So you can guess what that's about.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, but whilst all that's, it's just keeping on with useful things whilst the BBC is going down. This is the most beautiful.
Wow, what a glorious moment.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it's definitely going to happen. And I'm, oh my God, I've been BBC's been a bugbear for me for many decades now.
Yeah.
And it's just one organization, but they're all coming down, I think. And the way that it's unfolding is just, I wouldn't say it was fun, but it's certainly making all this waiting pay off a little bit.
It's rewarding.
Yeah,
Let's be
definitely.
honest.
How's South Africa? I've not heard much about South Africa recently.
South Africa is fine. It's been under the spotlight of Trump for quite a little while. In fact, we're hosting the G20 this month, and Trump said he's not coming because, there's stuff going on in South Africa that's not being looked at, and killing the farmers, and he gave refugee status to a bunch of Afrikaners to come to the US. So there's all these undercurrents, but it's the more is happening, the more I can see this is just a movie playing out. The stuff that our president is saying, it's like, are you for real? Are we in the same reality here? Because 5 years ago, people would have gone like, what did he just say? It's okay to take white people's property. Yeah, there's no farm killings going on. All of this is fine. I mean, he wouldn't have gotten away with it 5 years ago, but it's like they're making this movie so obvious now. That's like, okay, how much more obvious can we make it so that those that are asleep actually wake up?
Yeah, but
So
there were
just like in the UK with Keir Starmer, I
yeah, I
mean,
know, but there were people that still believe that Joe Biden was real.
and that he was a great president, never mind that he was real.
I know. It's like I'm like, what? I mean, there's a guy in this town, and there were when Biden visited Ireland, because supposedly he's from County Mayo, which is well, the original Biden family may have been, but this Biden that came was not him. And there
Mhm.
he is in the paper shaking hands with him. Almost the same week that I went to film Trump and met Eric at the Trump hotel, and I'm like, and there was nobody there, but for Biden in May, they had the flags out and the bands out and the newspapers out. Trump comes to Ireland. There was like 20 of us that turned up at this hotel to see if we could see him, and there he was. We were in the same room as Trump for all night.
Well,
It was like, wow, yeah, it's crazy. But brilliant. What a brilliant way of running a military operation. Just distract the shit out of everybody.
yeah, yeah. But I'm excited because, a couple of weeks ago, you'll remember Trump was in the UK.
Mm,
Again, optics walked in front of King Charles, it became very clear that he's now in charge, really, of the monarchy. Um, and effectively, that means also taking control of all the Commonwealth countries,
mm,
including South Africa.
mm.
So, I'm excited. I just want this movie to progress now. And I think we're being held back by people that don't want to wake up. But, I live without any expectations. I know how this movie ends. I'm not going to like follow all these RV dates. Like, the RV has just happened. People be notified. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, whatever. It'll happen when it will happen. And
It's
I'm not, you
the
know,
biggest carrot in the world. It's just dangle. I love it. I think it's brilliant. Once you see it and you understand it's just there to see when you're going to start taking responsibility for yourself.
yeah, where your
That's all it is.
consciousness. I believe that, fully believe that's part of the operation, delaying the whole RV thing for so long. It's weeding out the ones that are just in it for the money and the greed, and their consciousness is not catching up to where it needs to be, because spiritually we have to be mature for this wealth redistribution that's going to happen. And Nasara Jasara, it's never going to go be launched under those words, but the piece deals, everything that is happening is
Hmm.
lining up to exactly that. But the spiritual maturity has to be there.
Yeah.
So, especially for those that are going to be the way showers and the leaders of the new earth, all of us, the meek shall inherit the earth. Those that are gave up all their titles and their money and their power to be part of this movement, to be authentically part of a movement that wasn't very popular when we started this.
Still
Um,
isn't.
it still isn't.
I
It's
still
getting
get
a little
abused
better, but
every day.
still.
I just found this badge. That's weird. We're talking about. That's so
That was
funny.
so cool. That
That's so
that
funny that's on my desk. That is. No, you're 100% right. I mean, I've met so many people. Like, I did a bit of traveling earlier this year, and really nice people, but it was all about the price of XRP.
yeah,
And I was
exactly.
like, why? What are you going to do when you get it? If it does go to $10,000, what are you going? I'm going to buy an island and retire. Well, that's not really. I'm like that, That's not really. That's not what this is
You think
about.
that's gonna make you happy?
Well, I've not owned an island. My friend did. He owned an island in Thailand, but it doesn't make you happy being rich.
Nope.
It. I've been rich multiple times. It doesn't mean anything.
It's that samsara. You will always want more. It will never be enough. You will always chase the next goal because that will make you really happy. And it never does.
Yeah.
We've seen that. We've experienced that. I've had
Although,
moments where I had so much abundance. I've had some moments where I had very little. And I can tell you the moments where I had a lot of abundance, I was literally no happier. And I always wanted something else until I learned that this is all just a hamster wheel, you know,
yeah,
it doesn't end.
yeah, uh, yeah, it's beautiful.
We've got to escape the samsara. It's great that XLP is going to the moon, but I'm not going to focus my attention on that every day because that is not what matters. And so, if that's all you're chasing, you might be surprised as to, maybe how this is all going to play out. It may not be playing out the way you think it will.
I don't think so. I think it's consciousness driven. I mean, Trump talks in code, as you know, and I think he said something about 3 or 4 months ago. It was like something along the lines of, if you do get rich, don't forget to be kind to your friends and family. And I was like,
Mm.
brilliant, brilliant way of putting it. And I think it will be driven like that because this is what I was saying about the ads showing up when you're just thinking about it. You could think, oh, we're already connected to Skynet through implantations. Well, that's one version. Or the other version is actually, everything's recorded in the Akashic records anyway. So, your higher self knows how you're getting along, and maybe that's tied to your ability to do things. I mean, the opportunities and things that have happened to me in the last few years is just crazy, I literally don't care about wealth, and any money that's come in has gone into doing something. Even this coat was a gift. I just don't care about stuff like that. I'm not interested,
Yeah.
and I love that because I've got nothing to lose in that respect as well. That's the other funny thing because then you're dangerous when you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The fear of losing your big posh car or your whatever. I mean, I had bailiffs take one of my cars away 15 years ago when I had a business that when the crash happened in the UK. And I remember that was a massive spiritual thing for me. The bailiffs came and I just gave them the keys and I said, "Here, take this liability away from me." I was being funny. Well, I thought I was being, but I had to get to because the car meant so much to me because it was such a big, fast, powerful statement of my, you know, penis extension, whatever. It was ridiculous, and it was a great moment actually because I was like, I actually don't care. That's interesting, and it's just been great ever since then. Because when you don't care, and that's the
When
problem
you,
with
when
people.
it when the penny drops.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful moment when you just go, wow, who cares? It doesn't matter. I don't look at
Exactly.
it. I don't look at anybody's designer labels or watch it. If I see somebody with a watch, I usually tell them to get rid of it.
Yeah,
What are you wearing that for?
exactly.
Yeah.
Haven't worn a watch for like 10, maybe 8 years.
Did you
And I
have
don't,
one of those moments when you just wanted to get rid of it?
yeah, it's like,
I did.
I don't want a watch anymore.
Yeah.
And actually, the funny thing is that the moment that happens, I actually broke my wrist, my left wrist. I was mugged in Joburg. My phone was stolen, and I ran after the guy stupidly into the road, and I slipped on my high heels, and I broke my wrist. But that was the moment. I've never worn a watch since, and I don't want to wear a watch. It anchors us into time and space, and being constantly aware of what the time is.
Yeah.
I mean, losing track of time is the most wonderful thing, because then you go into the quantum sort of higher realms, and you can access anything
And
without being
getting lost as
in
well is
space.
brilliant. Turn off the sat nav. Brilliant. Because it's like we did that. I did it for years. Drove around everywhere with no sat nav. How did I do it? And when I realized that not long ago, and I was like, okay, let's try it. Just turn it off. Excuse me, do you know the way to, it's, and then you start chatting to people again. I mean,
it's
when I was a kid, my dad would give directions to strangers all the time, and it would be left at this pub, right at that pub, and it was all pubs, and it was great, much more fun.
Yeah, and you get to meet someone, and you see how friendly they are, and you
Mm,
interact with people. Now we're just like, oh, don't talk to strangers, just, mind your own business. And it's actually wonderful interacting with it. And many of us need to, because we're like light nodes on the planet. So
mm.
literally interacting with others emits certain frequencies to them without them realizing it,
Yep.
and uplifting, you know, in incremental little levels the frequency of the planet at the same time. So
Wow.
that's why you're in Ireland, I'm in Cape Town. We're all over the place. We're just like these light bulbs
Yeah.
crossing the whole planet. Actually, not the whole planet, the world.
Well, the thing we call a planet. Yeah.
Somebody said to me yesterday, I was having a phone conversation. This was excellent, an excellent observation that she made. She said, why is it called the world map? And then she went to look at what the word world means. The word world means like a society, or group of people. Actually, if you can call it that, an encampment, right? So they're actually telling us the truth, because it's not the map of the planet, it's the map of the world. Because they can't say it's the map of the planet, because there's much more lands beyond the ice wall. So I thought that was an excellent observation. It's like, yeah, they're telling us.
They've always told us. That's part of the fun of it as well, is unpicking it all and finding these little nuggets and making your own soap and digging your own garden, whatever, it's just like,
Yeah, get your hands dirty, learn how things work. Like, people don't want to do that anymore. And it's actually just putting your fingers in the soil is like, wow,
mm.
you're connecting with the land.
Well, I grew up like that, so I was lucky in that way, but I lost it, I had I had a PA for 10 years, and when I got divorced and lost my business and everything, I couldn't book a flight. I didn't know how to book a flight. I didn't know how to do so.
Yeah.
I was like it was like Eddie Murphy and Coming to America, and he doesn't know how to, wash himself and stuff. It was hilarious. I just
Yeah.
relearn everything from scratch.
It was the same for me. The only thing that saved me was the fact that I was a control freak. So I would always double check everything they did. And if I think they didn't get a good deal in a hotel, I would go and hunt it myself. And I always got a better deal. And so that's the only reason I can actually do these things today. But it was like that, just can you do that? Can you do that? And you forget how to do stuff.
And also that it shows you how disconnected so many of these people are at the top. They literally don't have any idea. And
Yeah.
we have always been small worms to them. I'm quoting somebody when I say that as well. Somebody very
Yeah.
high up in society that I knew very well. He'd literally drive around going, small worm. And I'd be like, what? And he used to call me Hobbit, Hobbit. And I'd be like, why are you calling me that? And because he'd just grown up in public school system in Britain. We were literally just playthings for them, literally.
Yeah.
And that's all coming up.
What a time to be alive.
It is, and I've got to go and strip a door now.
Yeah, I need to go as well. But it was lovely catching up with you, Mark. It's
Oh,
been too long.
yeah, it's brilliant. It's great to see you, and I look forward to coming down to your do Tai Chi in South Africa one day. That'd be nice.
Yes, and I think you've spoken to somebody, a mutual friend, and we hope to have you here at some point
That'd
soon
be great.
to make it happen.
I mean, I'm always having chats with Michael Tellinger as well because
Yeah.
I do like his one small town idea. It's just he's asked me to look at it, and I've been looking at it for quite a long time now, trying to work out a way of making it happen, but hasn't happened yet. But I would like to. He's a guy I'd love to meet down there as well.
Yeah, and actually where he's based, Adam's Calendar, is where we want to do a retreat. Well, we want to host international people there because it's such a magnificent
Yeah.
site, and he's an expert on that site. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
do it.
make it happen. Putting it
Do
out
it.
in the ethers, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm up for doing things like that. Anyway, I gotta go. Lovely to speak to you.
Lovely chatting to you too, and
Keep going.
we'll
You're
do
doing
it
a
again soon.
phenomenal job. Yeah. God bless you. See you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. It was a lot of fun catching up with Mark, and so all the links I'll put in the show notes so you can see his healing center, his other links, and of course my links as well. So subscribe, share if you enjoyed this content, and yeah, we'll see you again soon. Lots of love, everyone.